By the release of Star Ocean: The Last Hope in 2009, the Star Ocean franchise was probably one of the most widely recognized RPG series in the world. Its creator Tri-Ace was praised for packing insane amounts of content into each and every Star Ocean game, and The Last Hope was pretty well received. However, the series went dormant for a long length of time. This was because franchise producer Yoshinori Yamagishi left Tri-Ace, and the company's overall investment in the series wasn't certain. Unbeknownst to many though, the original creator of the Star Ocean series, Yoshiharu Gotanda, began working in secret on a new follow-up with remaining members of the Star Ocean team. The project was the basis for Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, which was released on the PlayStation 4 in 2016. Producer Shuichi Kobayashi worked tirelessly on the title and said he hoped it would draw its core essence from Star Ocean till the end of time. But did it live up to the previous titles in the series? I'll give you my take on that in this video, but before I do, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more retro gaming content. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness takes place in the middle of the Star Ocean timeline, between Star Ocean: The Second Story and Star Ocean Till the End of Time. While humanity is on the verge of peace, war stirs on the planet of Fey Creed 4, where two kingdoms fight against each other and mercenaries from a third kingdom possess technologically advanced weapons that can kill in mass numbers. You play as Fidel, but no, that's not the right Fidel. The Fidel you play as is caught up in it all along with his childhood friend Mickey. The two attempt to secure aid from the Razulian army, which Fidel's father Daryl commands, but their request is denied because men are needed to fight against the kingdom of Traker. The story branches off from there, and there's a heck of a lot of characters, mostly forgettable ones, that you recruit along the way. Honestly, I found character development to be pretty darn lacking in this one. I thought a few of the characters were better than the ones in The Last Hope, but they just weren't as lovable as ones in the earlier Star Ocean games. Even the big moments it offers, like a major character death, didn't have a very profound effect on me. I just couldn't get invested in it. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness doesn't revolutionize Star Ocean's battle system, but it does allow you to fight with more characters at one time than in any other game in the series. In this one, 6 characters are running around the screen and fighting all at the same time, and it really can be difficult to keep track of it all and follow what's happening unless you're super meticulous. There's also a 7th character slot that can include another AI character that will join you along your adventure, but you can't control those. You can switch between the other 6 though. The rush gauge is here too, and that works pretty similarly to how it did in The Last Hope, and it allows you to unleash powerful special attacks. Combat takes place as you run around and encounter enemies, and there's a pretty seamless transition into battles, so that part was pretty new for the Star Ocean series. What I did enjoy about the battle system is that it goes back to the old school Star Ocean formula for special attacks. This means you can assign 2 short range attacks to the L1 and R1 buttons, and 2 long range attacks to the L1 and R1 buttons. And I have to say that as an old school Star Ocean player, this is a facet I really liked because it was so fun to create and execute combos against enemies just like I did in the old days. I also enjoyed the roles system, which allows you to equip roles on AI controlled characters. These roles give each character a subset of abilities that define how they act in battle, and it was actually really fun to customize them and upgrade them with SP. Roles can utilize both active and passive abilities, and it was a lot of fun to play around with different combinations. The pacing of the game's story is quite odd because some scenes have these weird paces between dialogue lines that make you wonder if the scene is actually over or not. Besides that, the dialogue itself is often downright unimaginative. And if that wasn't bad enough, dialogue is routinely given during the battles themselves, which I have to admit was an interesting idea, but it wasn't really executed well because, well, if you pay too close attention to it, you can get wiped out by enemies. The real shining star of this game is Motoi Sakuraba's soundtrack, whose work sounds fantastic as always. However, there's a catch here that's really disappointing, and that's that almost half of the game's songs are from Star Ocean Till the End of Time and Star Ocean The Last Hope and just reused here. And honestly, that's pretty darn disappointing for a fan expecting a full new suite of tunes. The new stuff that is here is great, there's just not enough of it. Many fans believe this title to be the black sheep of the franchise, and on the surface it's pretty easy to see why. Unlike The Last Hope, which was filled with story cutscenes, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness had none at all, which certainly surprised a lot of fans. However, there are long, drawn-out, unskippable dialogue sequences between characters, something which drew criticism from reviewers like IGN and Game Informer. Also, the game's text is just way too small, and it's hard to read unless you're so close to your television or monitor, and that part is just dreadful. I like the return to classic combat mechanics and the roles system, both of which are things that worked well, but the characters and story just didn't do it for me. I don't think Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness is quite as bad as some people say, but I also think it's fair to call it the worst mainline Star Ocean game. But hey, if you like the series a lot, I think you'll actually like this one too. But if you're looking to break into the Star Ocean franchise for the first time, I would start with one of the first three instead. So what did you think about Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness? And how do you think it compares to the rest of the Star Ocean series? Let me know in a comment below. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell for more retro gaming content also. I'd also like to give a big shout out to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. If you want early access to the videos I produce and other perks like they receive, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a Patreon patron or via the YouTube Join feature.